Awesome. I think we're live here. Welcome to a pop-up edition of Story Cruise Insiders. We are really here to help you all create and collect stories. So what I'm doing is I'm bonusing to you. This is actually going to go inside our Story Cruise Insiders, inside our paid content. But if you are a subscriber, you get to see it for a little bit of time. Today we're going to talk about collecting stories and really collecting stories. And I know it sounds kind of weird, like why be intentional with collecting stories. I'm telling you, the best people I know, the strongest, most powerful speakers, most powerful sellers, most powerful salespeople, most powerful businesses collect their stories and are very, very intentional about it. So I created a tool that we're going to go over today about collecting stories, how to collect stories, and why you need to be doing it, and where to put them. And it's a tool that you can use. It'll be available inside the Story Cruise Insiders, but really what you should be intentional about this, right? And why is that? Well, stories are your most powerful tool for selling. Absolute most powerful tool for selling, hands down. But, I've seen it so many times where people aren't prepared with a story. And we get into a marketing campaign. Someone's going to do Facebook campaigns. Someone's going to build a new website, and they don't have stories ready. They're like, oh, let me go find them. And maybe you shot video. I've talked to people that are like, oh, yeah, I think we shot that video. Oh, did we? What did we do with it? And where is that video? Where is that person's content? And by not being intentional with it, we are just wasting our most powerful tool, right? Wasting away. We file away stupid things. We plan what we're so many silly things in our business that are really unnecessary. How much time have you spent on your logo or logo designs and then not intentional with your stories, right? And then you go work with a marketing agency, you've got to start all over. Or you hire someone internally, you've got to start all over. And then here's the other thing, maybe you did collect them and did nothing with them, right? Maybe you got these video case stories and did nothing with them. And that's just as bad, because they're not helping you, right? And they're not using them in the right places. And here's the thing. So I'm going to show you, we're going to talk a little bit about what it takes to make great stories, and then why we want to get that storytelling going. So we go over to here, and this is the storyboard blueprint. And if you're in the blueprint workshop, you have access to this. If you were in, we're going to be doing another one of these blueprint workshops. If you are inside of Story Cruise Insiders or Giants Video, you will have access to this. And this is your client's journey, their storyboard. We make decisions because of moments, right? We make decisions because of what's going on. And we forget about the fact that this is happening, and then we try and make the marketing just work across the board, right? Like, oh, we're gonna make this video, we're gonna take this video and put it into all of our campaigns. But the story you tell, so let's talk about your client's journey right now. They don't know they have a problem, like whatever's going on in your life. Let's talk about toilet paper. All right, right now, middle of the pandemic, toilet paper's starting to go out. But before it's like, oh, I don't have to worry about toilet paper. I might have a problem. I better go start thinking about toilet paper. Go find toilet paper. Maybe there's someone that sells toilet paper. They find you're a toilet paper sales person. Well, maybe I can still do it on my own. No, I'm going to get your help. Each moment in time, we're thinking a different way. And you know what? I'm having fun with toilet paper, but same thing with an agency. If you're a digital agency, don't know they have a problem, right? Their sales are going well. Their website's going well. I start looking at my website. I'm not really getting any leads from website. Maybe people are poking holes on it. Maybe I can get someone internally to fix up my website. I've got to look for an agency. They find an agency, now they're comparing solutions, different agency solutions. They decide on you. They move forward with you, right? Each one of these is a different story you should be telling. And you have different people going through this. So really collecting those case stories around this is absolutely crucial. So that's why I developed the case story arsenal, is because we need a whole arsenal of stories. And not only do we need, you might have the same person, but you want to craft that story in different ways. You want to have different sound bites. You want to have and put it in different places. And you also want to be intentional about the places that you need stories. And so that's why I've created this tool, the Case Story Arsenal tool. So you go through it, your goals. First of all, we want to know what your goals are. You've got to figure out your goals. What do I want to happen? And you should be listing these and be intentional with those. Any business person will tell you that's important. You've got to have a planning for the next quarter. You got to do that. Figure out where your current lead sources are, right? That's low hanging fruit. If you have lead sources, if you're getting website traffic, if you're getting leads to your website, if you're getting leads to a referral source, those are places that you can be handing off case stories to, placing case stories and improve those conversion rates. Your current campaigns, what are your current campaigns? What are your planned campaigns for next year? If you're not thinking about YouTube campaigns, both organic and paid, you're going to be missing out in 2021. Those are going to be super powerful. Maybe you're thinking about TikTok. Maybe you're thinking about Instagram. I want to do more of that. So planning those campaigns out so you can look and think what types of videos. Because the video that you put on Instagram is different than the video you put on TikTok, which is different than the video you put on YouTube. It can be the same person, your same client, your same customer, but how you craft that is going to be different where they are in the journey. Because if you're looking at early on in the journey, the intent is different. If I'm not worried about toilet paper, I'm not going to pay attention to your story about how you help people find toilet paper. But if I'm like, oh my God, I need to find toilet paper, well, then I'm going to listen to you if you're an expert. And that story is going to change. So make sure, hey, I saw someone say hello. Make sure you're thinking about those things. And that's where you want to craft that and know where you're going to use these in journey. Because you're also going to want to craft the questions about it. You're going to want to shape that story that you're asking for. And then, you want to check your status. Do you have case stories on your home page? Do you have case stories on your About Us page? That's the second most used page on a website. That's the place to have testimonials. On your contact page, this is the page that people are going to convert. Now, if you're in e-commerce, you know this, 70% of shopping carts are abandoned. Contact page for whatever business is kind of like a shopping cart. People go there and like, oh, I'm going to talk to them. Oh, I'll do that later, right? I'm working from home right now. I'm looking at the lake. The lake is beautiful. I want to get out there in the lake. You can check it out. Boom. Lake view. Lucky to be doing that. But here's the bad part about working from home. The kids are here. They're off. It's Thanksgiving week. So they're screaming. 9 times out of 10, something's going to get interrupted. I wouldn't be surprised if they show up in this video. So knowing that that contact page is a place that's a conversion mechanism, you want to optimize that and have case stories on it. Your services pages, whatever service you provide, you want to have case stories on it. So think about that. Be thinking about those things, as well as email onboarding, email long-term nurture, your online reputation ranking for it, retargeting, your YouTube channel, Facebook, LinkedIn. These are all places that you should be using case stories. And if you're not, you're missing out. And those videos can be, used throughout those to increase conversion rates. It's getting breezy here, so I've got some chimes in the background. Sorry about that. But so we want to check this off, and I would prioritize this, right? If you're getting good website traffic, you want to get them on your website as fast as possible. You want to plan that. And if you're in Story Cruise Insiders, I'm going to be doing some future videos on this. And if you're subscribed to this, you might get a chance to see those future videos for a short amount of time. I'm going to teach how to do each one of these things the best way possible, best practices. But that said, let's move over to the case story page, the case story builder page. So we want to know, who our ideal clients are. This is one of our clients. I just gave the example, and you'll see that one later. But, we'll give the subject name. Just list out your clients and start thinking through those. And list out as many as possible. Don't think about so much as if they will say yes, because there's ways to get them to say yes, and following up will be important. Think about who your favorite clients were, what the services you provided for them were, and go through and brainstorm this. Now, this whole document is available in the Story Cruise Insiders. And if you're watching this and you want to become a part of it, just comment down below. I think we're going to put a link in there. We open this up on a select occasion. But we want to go and think about, who your name is, who names your ideal clients. Don't go worry about status right now. And then we want to put lists of services provided. This will, when we go back to that goals section, if our goal is to sell X amount of service, well, if Jane didn't, if we're trying to sell more SEO and Jane didn't do SEO with us, then why would we want to focus on getting Jane's video case story? This is, the intention of it, right? Collecting these is so, so important, and to do it with intention will transform your business. Because then, once we do that, now we'll look at the lifetime customer value and go, hey, if I get one more of Jim per month, and let's say Jim is worth, $30,000 to me over the lifetime. Maybe he spent $30,000 with me. Maybe he spent $100,000 with me over his lifetime. Well, how much is that worth? It's worth spending $3,000, $4,000 to get one more Jim per year, right? Well, that's the beauty of video case stories, is if you put a Jim video out there and you do it the right way in multiple places and it's talking about it, you want more video production from Jim and it's worth $30,000. Well, over the next 3 years, it's worth $100,000 virtually. It's worth spending that time to get that, right? You will get excited. You will realize, hey, there's intention there because I know where to place these. Once you get through there, we're going to put, the points in here. Once we actually get that interview, we're going to put those important points. We're going to also put, what is important to you about that. So you'll want to put what you feel is important and what Jim says is important. I'd pull out then, once you get that case story, pull out quotes. You want to put a link to the audio so someone can quickly read it. You want to put a link to the transcript because you want to transcribe this. You want to put, whatever keywords that maybe they set. I'll tell you, folks, I so often find new keywords when I interview our clients' case stories. For case stories, I so often do because they keep saying a word over and over and over again. I'm like, why aren't we using that word? And it might not be a high volume keyword, but it has so much intent, and we see it 4, 5, 6 times. It's actually becomes low hanging fruit for you. Once you put it on YouTube, you want to place that on YouTube. A link to the Facebook video, a link to different versions. You want to be doing 10, 20, 30-second versions. You want what we call micro content. You want stuff for cold traffic, meaning people that early on in that customer journey that we're talking about. Because the video that you place here, let's say it's Jim's video. Jim's video don't know they have a problem. I'd want to be more about Jim and what connection points. But I want to talk, if I'm putting this on my website, my about page, this is going to be more about working directly with me. Same thing for you. So you want to have different versions. Plus you want to put them in Instagram stories. That's going to be a sub 30-second version that needs to be formatted a different way. Facebook stories, same thing. LinkedIn, you want a square version. And you definitely want to be doing text overlays in there. Whereas you don't want to put text overlays in YouTube. And we're going to be talking about all this stuff. And it might be, thinking through it. But once again, this is your most powerful tool. So it is worth it. If it's worth $100,000, it's worth spending a day or two, a quarter, collecting these, being intentional with it, building your arsenal, meeting with your team about your arsenal. Because here's the other thing, once you get this filled out, if you go and work with a Facebook ads agency, a YouTube ads agency, a new website person, anyone else you go to work with, you can be like, here are our stories, here's what we have. Man, you're gonna make that process happen faster. So next steps, what do we need to do with this? Maybe you did what we call a remote video case story, and we can send you see some examples of that throughout Story Cruise. You can go to Authentic Web and find that. If you Google dynamic case story, you'll see some examples of those. So those are done with just audio. And maybe we got a great story, and now it's time to send out an agency or send out a videographer, one of our great Story Cruise videographers out there to capture a live version of it, make a bigger version of it. Maybe the next step is follow up with them in a year. That's another thing. It's like we want to make videos of the transformation. What happened a year from now? If you're, in something that transforms someone's life and puts it on a new trajectory, like weight loss or a divorce attorney or, a business coach, a business consultant, an agency, how are they different a year from now? And that's a big thing because if you show them early on, someone might talk about what it was like early on, but if you show them early on and you show a video of them later, man, that's powerful. See where this intent comes in? And we want to have their contact info in here. This is a big deal because you might want to have other people collect these for you. We have services that people can collect these for you, get all this stuff done for you. If you're interested in that, we'll make sure there's a link below. If you're watching this on Insiders, you can just shoot us an email. But it's, and then we have a distribution checklist. Make sure it's distributed everywhere once you get the video done. Make sure it's put in all the right places. See, there's a lot that goes into this. Then instead of just putting a testimonial on your website, make sure it's on your homepage. Make sure it's on a service page. Make sure it's an About Us. Make sure it's in retargeting. Make sure it's optimized. Make sure, do we want to put in email long-term nurture? Email to a specific list. These are all things that you want to do. And we have a huge distribution checklist. Maybe you want to optimize this. But once you get going with this too, what's really cool about this tool is that we can actually look and go, hey, what stage are we in here? And we'll know that we need to collect it, written review, remote case story, request a live case story, or distribute it. What's done with it. So we'll talk about some of these other tabs that are down here below. I just want you to realize that be intentional with your video case stories. Build that arsenal, build that collection, because there's nothing more powerful than this, and you don't know when they're going to go away. So you want to be constantly collecting these, and you want to be constantly reviewing them. And here's the other thing: when you have a bad day, go back here and watch a few of them, because you'll have that collection of it. Make sure they're being used properly. Start doing this now. Man, I wish we would have started doing this, right away. There's so many case stories that we missed out on, and I've done that with clients. They're like, oh, I've got this great client. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to talk to them. They didn't have any intention, and guess what happened? That client went away. That customer went away. Something happened. So think through this a lot. Build your case story arsenal. And, if you're watching this in the Insiders, make sure to download it. Start working on this right now. Put some time in it. Put 20 minutes a week. If you don't have any, and I put it on your quarterly agenda for an hour, 2 hours. Find the partners to help you do that. You can go to storycruise.com and find partners that can help you actually collect these, craft them, deliver them, distribute them, live version, remote version, whatever. But do it. It will transform your business. It'll transform your copy. It'll transform your marketing. It will, you could easily 10x your business in the next 3 years if you did this the right way. So that said, make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, you're subscribed to this. If you're watching this on Story Cruise Insiders, thank you for being an insider. And once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's only up for a few minutes or a few days, and then we're going to take it down and just going inside of Insiders. And we will be discussing this on a group call in Insiders. So if you have any questions, please email us, let us know, and we'll put that into discussion for our next group call. Otherwise, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Make sure you comment down below. Make sure you get all our alerts. Make sure you email me and let me know what you think and when you're going to build your arsenal.